Something about Cougar Nation, man. It always finds a way to get back to the quarterback position. And the texts are starting to flow a little bit. I want to hear someone, too, call in 801-575-8255. What is it about Jake that is hard to get behind? I want to know from a fan out there that still wants Bohannon, what is it about Jake? Because we're getting some texts. There's still a fraction of the fan base that wants Gary, Mitch. Texter 4633, I understand what you're saying about standing behind our quarterback, but if we had been playing a good team, there would have been at least 3 interceptions. That may be true, but you're 3-0.
Well, we will find out this week.
Yes.
We will find out.
So what
this
happens
week.
if he throws 2 picks, but you win against Kansas State? Is it going to be the turnovers is still a problem, or are we going to say you just took down a top? Like, the result is what we're all after here. Ultimately, we're talking about wins and losses, Mitch, and he's 3-0.
Yep, I agree.
He's improved. Is he Steve Young? Is he Jim McMahon? He's not. But that's okay. Like you're winning some football games. For heaven's sakes, I'm just like, it's not like we're 0-3. That'd be different.
Even the TV announcers, though, were adding gasoline to the anti-Retzlaff crowd. Where another interception. It was almost like
that first pick. He's got 9 turnovers in his first 7 starts. How much longer can it go on? Taking the break on CBS Sports.
Yeah, I thought Carter Blackburn and Randy Cross were just dousing the gas. Like, please keep watching this game. We're going to add this quarterback controversy. Hey, texter 3324. Hi, Mitch and Matt. Well, hello, 3324. What gives me confidence in BYU's 3-0 start is that the defense is solid this year, and it will keep BYU in any game. The offense is still up and down, but has more big play ability than last year. Also, BYU has more depth this year and better team leadership. Go Cougs. Thanks. Thanks, 3324. Appreciate that.
Some good points in there. The leadership, I think that's tangible just by the nature of better chemistry and better continuity. I think there is more depth. Defensively, that is far and away the brightest spotlight on this program right now. This defense has taken leaps and bounds. We've talked about this before, Mitch, but it bears repeating. Last year, the offense was so bad in so many categories that you almost swept the defense and their poor play under the rug.
Yep.
Because the defense wasn't very good last year. They were, in some respects, just as bad as the year before. They fired someone over how bad that defense was. Mm-hmm. Now, I think we all understood, Cougar Nation and BYU fans, it's first year with Jay Hill. He's getting his recruiting up and going. He's implementing his scheme. No need to panic. But last year's defense was bad. It was not a good defense. When you have a bad defense and a bad offense, you're not going bowling. And that's what happened in 2023. This year, though, Mitch, this defense, man, they hold Wyoming to what? 200 and some odd yards, 217, 77 rush yards. They did okay on third down. Could have been better in that regard. Red zone, they did give up 2 touchdowns in the red zone on 2 trips from Wyoming. That's not ideal. Not as good as it was against SMU. But, man, this defense is much better. The top-end talent is playing at a high level. Tyler Batty, he's playing like a first-team Big 12 player. Jacob Robinson, I think he's playing near or at first-team level. Jack Kelly also in the mix there. When you got a dude at every level playing all-conference football, you're a dang good defense, and I love that point that this defense is going to put you in position to be in a lot of football games.
Texter 3926, why did they call so many run plays when every running quarterback has never made it through a full season without getting injured? Well, your running back depth chart was Miles Davis, who had nowhere near the success he did against Wyoming 2 years ago, Sione Aimoa, who you knew if you were listening to us throughout Cougar Sports Saturday and our fall camp reports, and then Pokai Honga. That was your running backs. And I would probably guess, Matt, a lot of Cougar Nation did not know those guys until probably game day. So you're probably going to turn to a guy that in Retzlaff who can run the football, and if you don't want an injury to happen, and I understand that, but there's also that peace of mind that you do feel like you've got a lot more options at quarterback, and you got to have another number to account for on the opposing defenses. So I think they're still going to be selective with Jake going forward, but there was opportunities in Wyoming's defense where they wanted to take advantage. I think this week against K-State, kickoff at 8:30 here on KSL and ESPN, They're going to be a little more selective, but if the moment an opportunity poses itself, they're going to turn to Jake and let him run. They cannot be afraid of thinking someone's going to get hurt. They got to just let him loose and play freely.
801-525. Wait, I think I got the number wrong, Mitch. 801-575-8255. What is holding you back from getting on the Jake Retzlaff bandwagon? I want to hear a Cougar fan call in and give me a good reason. Someone did text in, shared some thoughts, 3091. You guys got to pump the brakes on Retzlaff. Okay, first off, it's me. I'm the one who's defending Retzlaff at a higher clip than Mitch, so don't get on Mitch here, but he refuses to set his 3 feet to throw. He throws a 5-yard pass, 90 miles an hour. Throw a catchable ball. Also, the schedule has been terrible. SMU is much worse than I expected. Wyoming might be the worst in the FBS. When he turns it over 3 times in each of the next few games, what will you say then? Well, if he turns it over 3 times in the next few games, then
he's getting benched.
Then he's getting benched, and let's go to Gary. I'm not saying he has a license to play regardless of his performance. That's not the argument. And Aaron Roderick said that a few weeks ago, Mitch, that nobody on this team has a license to just make mistakes. What I am saying, though, is if you're winning games, you need to show some respect because at the end of the day, you're about winning football games. He's 3-0, and yeah, the schedule has not been great. I get that. But he has showed improvement, and at the end of the day, it's that experience you noted at Laramie that I think bothers me a little bit, where Jake almost throws for 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, running the ball. He looked very good. It's not the best performance we've ever seen from a BYU quarterback. I'm not saying that. But nothing in that performance made you feel like at any moment the train's going to come off the track, so we need the next guy to be ready. And yet when the next guy came in, there's a celebration like, see? This is who we wanted all along. The starter's a bum. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I think fan bases need to cut out. So just give Jake his kudos when he plays well, because it just feels like it's always, he's throwing a 5-yard dart 80 miles an hour. He threw that one pick. What about all the great plays he made too? Because he converted a great 4th down in a tight window to Keanu Hill, threw the great touchdown pass to Darius Lassiter. What about all that? We're just going to sweep that away because there was a couple bad plays? It's like, come on. Jake's played good football. Has he played great football? No. But he's played good football, and the dude deserves some props for that.
And if he plays good football this week, I think that silences a lot of people because Kansas State, number 14 in the country, or number 13, in the AP Top 25 poll, undefeated team, one of the preseason favorites in the Big 12 Conference. But at the same time, if he struggles completely and looks out of place, make the change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. It's like, I think
you're not married to
even
him,
though
game
it's
in and game out.
Even though it's, yes, the opponents have been weak, Wyoming and Southern Illinois in particular. But the great thing about being in a power league now is that you will get a true sense of what these guys are. And, in Jake, if he struggles completely at Kansas State, looks outmatched, got to turn to Gary.
And let's not pretend
I think the staff will do that. I think the staff will do it.
I agree. And let's not pretend, too, that there's been opponents in past years where the BYU quarterback play was suspect and they lost. What were we doing then when Baylor Romney and Jaron Hall lost to South Florida down in Tampa a couple years ago? That team was no good. What about the home losses against Northern Illinois and UMass? You can't just say, you can't pick and choose, Mitch, in arguments, the schedule's soft. Yeah. The schedule's been soft in other years, and we've lost those football games. Yep. Did we demand for Zach in, 2018 to be benched?
We sat through 14-0 last year against Sam Houston, who was terrible last season. 14-zip.
What about 2019 when Zach couldn't move the ball against San Diego State? Were we demanding him to be benched then? It's college football. There's ebbs and flows, but if you're winning games, that's where the focus should be. And BYU's 3-0.
And that's all you can ask for. And I think there's a new appreciation for, wins.
Yeah.
After going through 5 and 7, there should be a new appreciation for wins. And BYU's got their toughest test to date this season, Saturday night against number 13 Kansas State. 8:30 kick inside LaVell Edwards Stadium. We will have you covered with Cougar Sports Saturday from noon to 3, and then kickoff at 8:30, pregame at 6:30 right here on KSL.
Quick thoughts on the matchup. Do you think BYU's got a chance?
I do. I think they've got a great chance. I think this is going to be a game that comes down right to the wire. Late night magic's going to happen for BYU potentially.
It's a great kick spot for BYU. 8:30. They're good in those night games, so we'll have you covered, and we'll have you all the way up to BYU and Kansas State right here on KSL News Radio, your legacy home of the BYU Cougars. For Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte, have a great night.